but they knew the folk were coming to church, and they had to offer up sacrifices. And to offer up sacrifices, they had to have sacrifices. So they realized that they were coming from miles away, and you can't walk no cow all across the Mountain of Olives. Are y'all following? Goats and bullocks and rams, you can't march them all across. We're talking about folks taking trips for months at a time.
Yes,
they didn't have no sacrifice with them. And they came from such a distance until the money changers had to be there to change the currency over to the currency of Israel. Are y'all following me? So the money changers were there. The animals were there locked up in the cages.
Yes,
we got pigeons on sale over here. We got turtle doves here, 2 for $1. Boy, they had a fit in there. They had a fit in there. And here Jesus is watching the whole thing. Now he done rolled up into Jerusalem. He done cursed. Anytime you curse a tree and it's dead the next day, and you curse it from the root, not from the leaf, but from the root, down in the ground. I don't know how he got that, but he cursed. That curse went to the ground and cursed the root, and the tree died from the bottom to the top. And it usually dies from the top to the bottom. But Jesus cursed that tree. And that was enough to get you on out of there. And that same Jesus said, well, I'm going to the temple next. If I'd have learned he was coming to the temple and he just cursed the tree from the bottom to the top, I'm packing up. Y'all want any doves? They come to my house. But I'm getting this stuff out the church. But they didn't move fast enough. And when Jesus got in there, he looked around and said, what is this? What is this? What do you have going on in my Father's house? What is this? People are doing anything in church and thank God don't have an attitude. You better thank God you're still alive. Folks have done things in church, ought to thank God you still got breath in your body. What is this? He got that whip out and said, I'm not going to have this. Now, I have put up with a lot of stuff, but I ain't putting up with this. And he started turning those tables over and whipping them and get out, get out, get out, get out. What was Jesus doing? Protecting the atmosphere. And every now and then, you need to learn how to get up and protect the atmosphere. When you see somebody acting crazy and bringing BET drama to church, you protect that atmosphere and tell them ain't gonna have that hoochie mama crap up in here. Take your junk and get up out of here. Come on, somebody. The mothers of old would come right by your row. You got all your thighs and ankles and everything. Cotton picking rolls already on your thigh. I don't know why you want to show that stuff. You got 3-4 layers of skin, and it looked like you were just about to lose it all together, and then got the nerve to heist. Lord, I gotta get out of here. You got stuff all heist up, and you need to put a nun suit on. Desecrating the house of God with dress wear. Desecrating the house of God with texting in the sanctuary. Desecrating the house of the Lord with foul language and terrible attitudes. Desecrating the house of the Lord, sitting around shifting and ready to fight people. Desecrating the house of the Lord, trying to get up and go, and your mama up there trying to get some prayer for the whole household. And you got the nerve to be trying to rush somebody with your snobbish attitude, sitting there with critical dispositions. Desecrating the house of the Lord. You need to thank God that God took time out to help somebody in your household to turn that household from a war-torn zone to a peaceful place where you can go home and go to sleep. So after the fact. can't have no healing service until you get the thieves out. You got to run the money changers out. You got to run those who have critical dispositions off the altar. Get out of here. Tell them to get out of here. You got to become protectors of your environment. This is a peaceful place. This is where you come to lay your burdens down. This is where you come to get nurture spiritually, nurture for your body. This is where you come to get peace in your mind and get your joy regenerated. And when you see somebody acting out in church, you ought to point at them and say, hey, listen here, pastor ain't gonna have to get you today. I'm gonna get you today. If you don't stop that foolishness around here, I'm gonna pray you and them demons up out of this church, because this is my only hangout, and I can't have you desecrating this house. If I don't have my peace in this church, I'm gonna go somewhere and lose my mind. And before that happens, I'm gonna pray you up out of here, and that crap you brought up in here has gotta go. Touch somebody and say, protect the house. Yeah, you gotta protect the house. You gotta protect the house. Don't let you hear people talking certain language and foul language and things like that. You tell them we don't play that around here. You walk right up, don't get that pastor ain't got to straighten out everything. You a lieutenant or sergeant or something, ain't you? You got a little private. You ought to be able to say something. Oh, what did you say? I didn't say nothing. I just didn't say nothing. What kind of member you can't say nothing? If you didn't say nothing, what you coming here talking to me about it for? You keep on saying nothing. Get away. Get out of my office. Yeah. So I want healing to take place. I want deliverance to take place. But for that to happen, you got to protect the house. Put some prayer on the house. You know, it's a shame, Apostle. We got to get out of here. It's a shame that 2 or 3 old ladies is holding down noonday prayer.
It's the truth, son.
And all these other folks just sitting around. You're living off the government and still don't want to come to church. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. You're living off the government, don't have to work no more. You retired and still won't come to church. You and your little group ought to get together and say, Pastor, we need to have noonday prayer. I'm going to be in charge. Give me the key. I'm going to pray the devil away from around the church. I'm going to get Suzanne and Martha and Mary Jane, and we're going to get in there, and every Wednesday or Tuesday, Thursday or something, and we're going to protect that house. And when you show up to preach, you won't have to preach on top of foul stuff. You won't have to deal with foolishness. You won't have to try to preach on top of junk and lust. You won't have to try to preach on top of guilt and fornication and adultery. You won't have to try to preach upon googly eyes and lustful dispositions. You won't have to come in here and try to preach upon thieves and robbers and those that desecrate the temple. We're going to be in noonday prayer. We're going to have it right for you. We're going to have it right for you for Bible study. We're going to have it right for you for Sunday morning. We're going to protect this house. When you don't protect the house, anything slip in. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in there. I say anything slip in here. Before you know it, people getting sick and don't even have a problem with the body. Anything slip up in here. You don't even have a lust problem until you went to church. You picked that demon up at the church. Somebody brought a demon to church and that demon jumped on you, and all of a sudden you got lust problems. Somebody brought it to church. Somebody need to come in here and protect the house. Put the church in pride. You're on the verge of enlarging your sanctuary. You think the devil gonna sit